So today we're going to be talking about Lethal Weapon 2 starring Mel Gibson and Danny Glover, and the food we're going to feature is Subway. This movie is definitely one of the classic action sequels of the 1980s. You know what's interesting is rewatching this movie, I had forgot how funny it is. And I don't just mean when they introduce Joe Pesci and he's kind of like their sidekick and he's cracking jokes constantly. I mean, Mel Gibson and Danny Glover, oh my God, they have the greatest chemistry in the world. They play so well off each other. I love the banter between the two of them. You feel that like long relationship and how close they are. Eventually, Mel Gibson, Danny Glover, and Joe Pesci, they go to Subway, and Joe Pesci gets a tuna sandwich. A tuna sandwich he very much doesn't want, but let's try it. I've actually never had the tuna sub from Subway. I've had like a bunch. They have like a ton of different sandwiches, but I was like, let's try it. Let's see how this is.
Come on! I'm coming! Okay! I got cops, okay? No big deal. I gotta eat food.
Come on, Leo. Hey, give me the food. Who ordered the super combo?
Over here.
I get a steak sandwich.
Who gets Leo? You got a big empty
Hey, this is
house, you're
not-
all alone there. I got this little trailer. What am I gonna do with it? My place is too small, man. You take them.
I had them last night.
Excuse
come
me,
on,
excuse me,
man.
excuse me, fellas.
What?
Excuse me, guys. This is tuna. See, I hate tuna, okay? I refuse to get stuck with tuna now. I mean, come on.
Hey, Leo, don't eat the tuna.
Oh, where were you? I just said that. I'm not eating this. I'm
good,
not eating tuna.
good.
Come on, let's go back.
Hey, we're not going back, so just shut up. Gonna die on the toilet on it.
What the hell is that?
All right.
Shut up!
I'm not a big fan of the tuna. It's so-so. I mean, you barely taste it. I'm not a big fan of tuna in general, but I mean, with the sauce and the vegetables and everything, it's you kind of just get this little hint of tuna flavor, and I'm like, eh. I kind of understand why Joe Pesci didn't want this. It's not terrible, but they gotta do something about it. They gotta make it more flavorful. The scene, though, where they're in the car and, and he's like explaining it and he gets crazy. Like how angry he gets. I was like, what is going on in this movie? I love how weirdly angry he gets about not getting his steak sandwich and getting the tuna. It's like he's like ready to explode. And I love how much like Danny Glover and Mel Gibson just do not care. If you're like a really big fan of tuna, maybe you'll enjoy it, especially if you don't want to get any of the beef or chicken options. So I mean, it's so-so. I have to say though, the opening scene of this movie is absolutely exciting. I mean, the second you see Mel Gibson on screen, he's like, woo! He's like going crazy. And it's like this insane action scene. And what I love is it's already in progress. I mean, when the movie starts, they're like 25% already into the action. The first 7 minutes is just this high octane, non-stop, things are blowing up, guns are going off. It's like total craziness. I love how there's this explosion that happens that just makes me laugh. It's kind of like, it's like one of those massive movie cliches where it's like a car runs into something and there's a little explosion and then boom!
Shit!
It's one of the best action movie cliches because it always just makes me laugh. It's It's like so insane. Also, one of the best recurring jokes throughout the movie starts in this scene where Danny Glover's talking, he's like driving his wife's car, it's a brand new car, and he's like, it can't get damaged, you know? And it like progressively gets more damaged throughout the movie. And I just it's such a great recurring joke. At one point you like forget about the joke, and then you have another, you have the bomb toilet scene, and then like boom, the toilet right on top of the car. It's like, yes, take that, car. One of the best parts of all the Lethal Weapon movies is the relationship between Riggs and Murtaugh's family. And that scene where they're watching, they're like, oh, my daughter is in a commercial. Yeah, first time she's ever been on anything. That scene is so incredible. Like the whole family's there, and it ends up being like a condom commercial. And I just love the way like Danny Glover turns off the TV. I love how Murtaugh's like trying to like block the eyes of his daughter, his like the young daughter, and she's like, what, Daddy? We learned this in human development class. And then he's like, human what?
Take the kids upstairs.
Daddy, we learn about this every day in human development.
In human what? Human development what, Trish?
Development, Daddy. Chill
Come
out.
on, human development.
It kills me every time. So in this movie, Riggs and Murtaugh, they got to protect Joe Pesci, because he's got to testify. And I will say, Joe Pesci is funny in the movie, but I find sometimes maybe a little too much because he's always like, okay. All right, so now we're going to try the steak sub. Joe Pesci, he ordered a steak sub. He only got the tuna. So let's see, like, is there a really big difference? I've never done like a side-by-side comparison between the steak and the tuna. I haven't had steak in a long time, or like Subway steak, I mean. So let's see. Ooh, I got a green pepper. I love green pepper. I mean, come on. There's no comparison here. Are you kidding me? Okay. Funny. I wasn't sure, like, I haven't had the steak in a while. I was like, they both gonna suck because it's been a while since I've had Subway, so. But you know what? No, the steak is good. Man, they really need to add a little more flavor to that tuna because, you take one bite of the steak, it's like, oh, boom, this like explosion of flavor. But with the tuna, I was like eating it, and I was like, I taste bread. I taste vegetables. I'm like, I taste a bit of the sauce, and I'm like, the Subway sauce, and I'm like, where's the tuna? But with like the steak, I don't get that. I'm like, oh no, all right. I taste the steak.
Can I give you two guys a friendly piece of advice, okay? Don't ever go up to the drive-thru, okay? Always walk up to the counter. You know why? Okay. I'm gonna say it. Okay. They fuck you at the drive-thru, okay? They fuck you at the drive-thru. They know you're gonna be miles away before you find out you got fucked, okay? They know you're not gonna turn around and go back. So they don't care who gets fucked. Oh, Leo gets. Okay, sure. I don't give a fuck. I'm not eating this tuna, okay?
Shut up!
What's interesting though about this movie is the first half and the second half are so different. I mean, the first half has this like unbelievable high octane start with insane action, and then it gets into, the family stuff, and it's really funny. It's got all these great character moments, but there is a big shift in the second half of the movie. It gets much more serious. I mean, there's still some comic relief moments, and there's still like little things that happen here and there, but it's not at all the same as that first half. To be honest with you, I think the first half is better, but there's a lot to love in the second half. It's just the shifting tone is a little jarring. One of the most famous lines in history. I'm too old for this shit. I love Murtaugh. He's so funny. He's got so many great one-liners in this movie. And the final showdown with the villain and Murtaugh. Come on. It is one of the most cheesy things ever. The diplomatic immunity. That guy? Come on. It's just been revoked.
diplomatic community.
It's just been revoked.
So, what do you think of Lethal Weapon 2? Have you seen it? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Do you think it's one of the great action movies of the 80s? Or maybe it's outdated to you and it's just maybe not your thing? Or and how about Subway? What do you think of their tuna subs and their steak sub? Like, do you have a preference? Is it all just the same to you? Is it all like, oh, this is just fast food, whatever? I actually think there is a difference. I really wish just that tuna was just a little more flavor, if you know what I mean. Let me know what you think below. And as always, thanks so much for watching. If you want to see more, click right here. Enjoying the laughter. Yay! Hey! Boom!